Hi. We are live. Yay. Let me fix this. I don't know. That had got me looking down. Y'all, we gonna get this live thing together. I'm thinking I need to take my little ring light down just a little bit. So bear with me, y'all. Okay, I think I'm good. Okay. Welcome everybody to another live with your girl Tasha checking in, and we are going to get into this live, which is going to be the Love After Lockup review season 5 episode 6, Unhappy Father's Day. If it's your first time joining me, welcome to the channel. Welcome to all my new subscribers. Welcome to all my old subscribers. Go ahead, if you want to be a part of this family, to like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to push y'all to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. That is my push. That is my goal. That's what I want to do, y'all. Okay? So, as we get started, y'all know I take notes. I take notes for this show that I review because I want to make sure I don't leave out anything. So that's why I just have my little notes ready so we can get into it. Okay, so let's get into the first couple. I hope you all are having a great Sunday. That's when I am recording this, and yeah, let's get into it, y'all. Okay, so the first couple is going to be Melissa and Louie. Melissa got on my last nerves this episode because I feel as though there was not a real issue with them, and so the producers was like, well, if you don't give us something, we just gonna move on to another couple and spend more time on them because you ain't got nothing going on. And so Melissa was just like, wait, I could drum up some drama about the dance instructor and had that stretch on through the episode, and that's exactly what she did. Melissa was so annoying. I was team Louie on this episode. And first of all, before we get started, I always like to rate the episode. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say this episode this week was about a 7. For me, I think it had its ups, its downs. It gave you something to think about. It gave you a lot this episode, in my opinion. Now, you may come across another reviewer's channel that may feel like it wasn't nothing. I mean, but this season hasn't been so great. And this particular episode, I feel like they got in depth with some things that I have wanted to know, especially when it comes to Britney's and Key Rock's story. But we'll get into that later. So anyway, Melissa was just trumping up something because nothing was really going on. So as you know, they went out on their first date together. Last episode, Louis wanted to go take rumba lessons. And we know if you have not ever danced the rumba before or any dance, you have the teacher of the class who is going to get involved with you to make sure that you are properly executing these steps, and so you look good when you're doing that. I mean, you're paying for a service, and so they're trying to give you the service. No, Melissa didn't like that, and so she was making a big deal out of it. They left the day, and now this week they're in the car on the way back to the hotel, and Melissa is questioning Louis, talking about, that dance instructor. What did she call her? She said she was a trashy bee or something, she said. But she was just downing this lady. You don't even know this lady. She was just doing her job. But Melissa was up here saying, she was flirting with you. She was giving you more attention. And Louis is like, she's an instructor. I didn't do anything wrong. She was helping me understand the steps, which I agree with Louis. Like, what the heck did he do wrong? All he was doing was taking a class and wanted to do something with you. And it would have probably been a better date if you would have got more involved and stopped thinking he was trying to do something. Melissa is super jealous, right? Louis says he noticed that this episode that she was really, really jealous, and he doesn't know how it's going to be if they're out and a woman actually is flirting with him. Is she going to go all the way to 1,000? Like this time she may have seemed like she was on 500, but if he actually does get a flirting situation, is she going to go to 1,000? And I was just like, how is Louis making more sense than Melissa? They get back to the hotel. They're walking inside, and Melissa's like, well, when we get back to the room, I don't care what you do, but I'm going to sleep. And Louis is just thinking it's a joke because he's like, clearly, she cannot be this off or this mad about this situation with the dance instructor because it wasn't really nothing, right? So he goes, like, they're walking in. He's like, you're not going to hold my hand. She's like, no, get off me, whatever. So they get to the room, and Louis is basically like, like, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go work out since, you know, you're mad or whatever. And so Melissa is like, I don't care what you do. And so she goes on, and he says, I can't really believe you're acting like this. And she was like, you know, you've been locked up for 10 years and you can't really be trusted. And pause. I was like, Louis. Louis looked at her like, really? So you gonna bring up me being locked up for 10 years and say I can't really be trusted? He said, but that didn't stop you 9 months ago. Probably when she was still talking to him and stuff, interacting with him, selling him all these pipe dreams about how she loved him and can't wait till he get out. But now all of a sudden you want to try to act like you're above him because he was locked up or something. She's freaking psycho. So he goes and works out or whatever he does. She goes to sleep. The next morning, she wakes up. She's packing up her stuff. He comes in the room and he's like, what are you doing? Where are you going? Whatever. She's like, well, I'm packing up my stuff. I gotta leave today or whatever. And he's like, well, I thought, no, this was last night. She was packing up her stuff. And when he came in the room after working out, she's like, well, I gotta leave in the morning. I'm packing up my stuff and blah, blah, blah. So the next morning she gets up and she says, Louis slept on the floor. I guess when she got up, he wasn't there. And she says, I don't know where he went. I don't know if he went to go work out. Ma'am, you got this man on the floor? Like, over what? I'm just like with Louis, like, what did he do? Before so yeah, so Louis came back in the room, I guess, and he's just like, you know, I don't see what the big deal was. I didn't do anything wrong. They still continue to talk about it. So Melissa is like, well, you know, I can't trust you, blah, 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 all this other stuff. Okay, whatever. So they get in the car, they leave the hotel. Melissa's like, yeah, I think we need some space right now or whatever. And Louis is trying to get her to understand that you're leaving tomorrow and you're going to be in New Jersey and we're going to have plenty of space because I cannot see you. I'm not going to be able to see you until I figure out if I'm be able to transfer to New Jersey or not. Melissa was like, basically like, oh, well. Anyway, she's making a mountain out of a molehill. Melissa, isn't this your dream guy? Isn't this the guy you always wanted to be with? Remember in high school that you always wanted Louis? He was this and he was that. And now you have him and you are about to mess it up off of some fake jealousy or some whatever is in your mind about him doing something with this instructor when he didn't do anything. So they're driving, right? Because she said she's going to drop him off at his mom's house. And I don't know what she about to go do. So then, he gets a call from his friend Derek, his friend and former co-worker that when he used to work at a pizza place. And Derek says, hey Louis, what you about to do? I haven't seen you. And he's like, I'm about to go back to the mom house. And Derek is like, nah, scratch that. Come here to the pizza place. Let's wrap it up, whatever. So he asked Melissa, he's like, can you drop me off at Derek's instead of the mom's? And she was like, well, I guess I have no choice, Louis. And I'm like, what? So he says, all right, I see you in a minute. He get off the phone with him and he was like, what the heck is wrong with you? Like, why are you mad? I haven't seen Derek in a long time. You said you needed space. This can give us an opportunity to have space. I was with Louis this whole scene. So Louis gets to the pizza shop with Derek and he sits down and he wraps it up with him, and Derek gets emotional while talking to him because he's like, wow, you look great. You're in a good space. I remember when you were using drugs here at work and everything, and we really loved you here. We just didn't want to see you go down that path and all of that. And so they're wrapping it up. They go in the kitchen. They're making some pizza and stuff. Derek even offers Louis a job. He said, you want to get back to it? You want to work here and everything? I thought that was great. And so, yeah, Derek says, well, this your last night with Melissa, because Louis tells Derek about what happened with Melissa. He says, well, you know, you were a ladies' man back in the day. And Louis was like, but I didn't do anything. And as we can see that we all saw who watched it, that he didn't do anything. He was simply enjoying the class. So Derek says, why don't you make her a pizza, try to make the best of the night before she leaves and everything. And he's like, I don't even have a way to get back to her because Melissa dropped him off and she peeled out the parking lot. So Derek says, well, we'll get you an Uber and everything will be okay. And Louis like, all right, whatever. So we'll see what happens with them on the next episode. That was all with them. Let me make sure. I ain't leave out nothing. That was all with them. Let's get to the next couple, which is going to be Shereé and Anthony. This week, we met Shereé's belly and half of her boob. Every time Shereé gets on the screen, we meet a different body part, right? This woman clearly likes to wear small clothes, right? She's not an ugly chick, not at all. She is a healthy chick. She is a chick that should dress appropriately. I don't know why some women think the less clothes you wear, the sexier you are. I disagree. If you wear a dope outfit that is covering you, that's really fly and really cute, and the colors are popping, and you got a little bit of makeup on, and your hair is popping, whatever, I think that's sexy, in my opinion. But no, not Shereé. She likes to, every time we meet her, it's something really tight. It's something really revealing. It's something really high. It's just a lot going on with her whole wardrobe every time we meet her, right? And I just cannot understand for the life of me, why are you dressing like you're a teenager or like you're in your early 20s or something? You sometimes would expect that from that category of age range of women, but as you get older, you should be a little bit more knowledgeable. Okay, maybe I shouldn't do this, or maybe I should do that. And again, she grown, she can do whatever she want, but you have to be careful of what you're putting out in the world, because the world we live in is very crazy, and sometimes you put certain things out on display, people is looking and observing, and they might go act on it. They might go act on it. This is the world we're living in. So Shereé, please try to cover up, okay? I'm just saying. But anyway, their review. They wake up in the hotel, right? They must stay in the hotel. The camera is panning around the room. They ate, they drunk, they had a good old hunching good time. You know what I'm saying? And they wake up and they're like, good morning, blah, blah, blah. She's like, you gotta go see your PO today. He's like, yeah. And she's like, I got an alarm set for that. Shereé has an alarm set since he got out of jail. It's an alarm for everything. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I get it being organized, but that could be a trigger for him. He just got out of jail. He already had to be on a tight-knit schedule. He don't need you having a tight-knit schedule as well, because his mom did say that she reminds her of a oh god, drill sergeant or parole officer or whatever, by the way that she does her alarms and is organizing stuff. And I'm just like, girl, I think it's too much. Anthony said, she said, do you know when your curfew is and all of that? Anything from the PO. He says his curfew is 8 o'clock. And she laughs and she says, well, my son's curfew is longer than 8 o'clock and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, dummy, he just got out of jail, okay? Yes, his curfew is going to be what it is because he just got out of jail. Yes, that's what it's going to be. But Anthony says that he talked to his PO, which was a man PO, and the PO said it was 8. But then he says the mom called the PO, which I don't know if this is fabricated. I don't know if this is true, but I didn't know your mom could call the PO and request something. So the mom called the PO and asked the PO if he could stay out later because they're throwing a welcome home party for him. And he said the PO said he could stay out till 1 a.m. I think that's a lie, but I don't know. If you're a real PO and you come across my video, please drop in the comments if that's true or not. Or if you're in that industry or you work in that realm of the justice system, please let me know if that is accurate, because I do not know that to be true. What else? Anthony, Shereé gonna ask Anthony, right? This was so funny. She gonna ask Anthony, so did I snore last night? And he said like an effing grizzly bear. And I'm like, Shereé, you know that you snore. You have told us before we met Anthony that you snore. You said that was a concern of yours. And I'm thinking to myself, Shereé, baby, if you snoring like that, you might need to go get a test done. You might have sleep apnea. You might need a CPAP machine, ma'am. You need to go figure some stuff out instead of wearing all these skimpy outfits. You need to go see about your health, because if you snoring like that, and she talking about some every time I woke up, you was up. Yeah, girl, because you was keeping me up with all that freaking snoring. Anthony was just like, yeah, you snoring, shoot. Shereé have been talking some, oh no, I can't believe I snored, I'm embarrassed, blah, blah, blah. Girl, bye. You already knew you snore. You told us. You might need to go make an appointment to see if you got sleep apnea. That's all I'm saying. She goes and takes him to his PO office. He go in there to see what's up. While she's in the car, she's saying, I hope he can stay out for his party and all of that. But she says, even if he don't stay out, I done spent too much money, so I'm still having this party. I'm like, well, dad. But we all know that the party wasn't even really for Anthony anyway. It was so that she can show off to her family and her friends, and importantly, her child's father, that Anthony is a real person, is in her life, and they aren't together. So we already know the the party was for her and not necessarily for Anthony's welcome home, but she just gonna try to put that on there to make it seem like it was for him. He comes back out a few moments later, which in my opinion, that was the quickest PO meeting. Out of all the PO meetings we've seen, Anthony was in there, it seemed like for 10 minutes. Now, maybe it was 10 minutes on our end that we was viewing it, and maybe he was in there longer, but baby, it seemed like he was in there for 10 minutes. When he came out, he had an ankle monitor on his ankle. He said it was not the same PO that his mom spoke to, that he spoke to, that said he could stay out till 1 a.m. It was some other lady that was just like, I ain't got time for all this. Give me your paperwork, slap the bracelet on, back, get out of here. You got this, this, and this, and that was it. Anthony says he needs to talk to the man PO because the man PO was the one that told him what was up. And so Shereé says she had the phone number. He calls the PO, and it's on the weekend at this point, maybe like on Saturday or something like that. And so the man PO didn't answer the phone. He probably was chilling, enjoying his weekend. He said Monday would take care of itself probably, and he didn't answer the phone. Anthony left him a message. And when he left him a message, he hung up. He was like, Dad, can't get with him. So Shereé is like, this is so frustrating and everything. I planned this party for you. And it's like, I don't know if you're going to be able to attend the party. And all of a sudden, Shereé's driving and she's like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I planned this good party for you and I want you to. And she saw this fake crying. I was thinking to myself, girl, not only was I thinking, girl, Anthony's sitting over there like, and then he was like, let me know when you're done. That's what he literally said to her. He was over there, he said, let me know when you're done. He was like a parent when your child is throwing a tantrum and you're just like, let me know when you finish falling out so then we can move on. So he said, let me know when you're done. And Shereé was just like, I'm done. She immediately stopped the fake crying and was like, I'm done. And was straight regular, no tears or nothing after that. It was no tears in the beginning, but it was no more fake crying. I said, child, he saw right through it just like we did. That old fake crying girl, anybody got time for that? What else? So they got back to Shereé's house, and Shereé says, she knows that he's frustrated, stressed out, or whatever. She says, why don't you go take a nap? And yeah, I'll just be out here doing whatever. So Anthony said that's a good idea. He goes and takes a nap. Anthony was up in that bed like that bed felt so good. And I know how it is when I am tired, child, when I'm sleepy, when I have missed my bed, I'll be up in that bed cuddled up like a newborn baby. So I get it. He went and took a nap. Then all of a sudden, Anthony's mom pops up. Well, how does she pop up, though? She just comes in the house because she got a key to Shereé's house. Girl, it couldn't have been me, okay? The mom, I would have been like, hand over the key the first episode. First of all, how did she even get a key from the beginning? She wouldn't have had a key to my house. I don't play them games. I don't care, your mom or not. First of all, one, we ain't even married yet. Your mom got a key to my house. And even if we was married, she's not having a key to my house. I would have been like, hand it over, Mom. I don't know who gave you this key, or when you made it when I was asleep, when my back was turned, hand over the key. So the mom pops up. She's like, where's Anthony? And she's like, he's in there taking a nap. And she's like, the mom's like, he ain't taking no nap. The mom goes in the room and jumps on Anthony like, wake up. And he's like, go ahead. And I understand what Anthony means, child. Don't be jumping on me, waking me up like that. That is traumatic. What's wrong with you? And especially if he in REM sleep and he chilling and you come out of nowhere and catapult and jump on him and stuff. That is not cool. What else? The mom leaves and says, I love you. I'll wait till you wake up, whatever. So a few minutes later, we see Anthony surface out of the room. And then Shereé is in the kitchen. Him and the mom is in the living room. And the mom is like, so glad to see you out. I love you, blah, blah. She gives him a hug and all this. Anthony says he's never going back in. That was the last time. And the mom was like, I hope so. Shereé says, do you want to talk to your mom alone? So he says, yes. Shereé goes off into a bedroom. They act like they was living in a mansion. I believe Shereé heard every single word they was saying. All she did was maybe go around the corner to another room, was an apartment. So Anthony tells his mom, you've been involved in my relationships in the past, right? First he asks, how do you like my relationship with Shereé? And she says, I love Shereé, except for when her mouth get to popping. Then I don't like her. Then she be trying to match me, and she ain't time enough for me. My mouth been popping before she was born, right? So Anthony is like, well, you've been in my relationships, and we need to set some boundaries. I really like Shereé, and you need to stay out of my relationship, basically. And the mom was just like, I don't, like I said, she said, like I said, I don't have no problem with her. It's just her mouth is reckless. She said, I'm gonna see how you feel when you find out that her mouth is sharp and reckless. What else? And my mom and the mom cut over to the confessional and she was like, I hear what he's saying, but I'm an old one, okay? And you can't teach an old dog new tricks. So the mom was just like, I hear him, but I'm a look out for my son, basically. And I was like, oh Lord, that's gonna be an issue. Let's get to the next couple, y'all, because that's all that happened with them, which is Andy and Brittany. Andy and Brittany are both depressing. They are really, both of them are horrible, right? I don't see it for neither one of them, but Andy, the way Andy is, I can see how he can make anyone snap and break and want to like just punch him in the face and run away from him because he's so helicopter parent type dude, and he's so overwhelming, and he's always around, and his voice is annoying. And that's just me watching it. So I could imagine how Brittany feels, but Brittany, I don't feel sorry for you either, right? So we get to them. They at Rome, you know. Brittany tells Andy, of course, from the last episode, she wants to sleep in the guest room. So she goes to the guest room, and Andy goes in the main room that him and Brittany is supposed to be sharing. When he gets in the room, he's telling the camera crew, like, this ain't supposed to be no roommate situation. I don't know what's going on. Why is it that she wants to sleep over there in the guest room and I got to sleep over in this room? Now, mind you, sidebar, they was out. They were out all day. This is before they got to Rome. They was out in the morning, and they was dealing with Brittany leaving, her coming back and all that. Do y'all know Andy ain't get his nasty tail in the shower? Okay, he had the same clothes on that he had on all day. Not only that, he got in the bed with them clothes, right up in the bed with them clothes. I said, child, that first of all, it's an Airbnb, and you can't make me see no different. Andy do not look like he would go to the store and buy those nice blankets and stuff. Those white fluffy blankets and things like that, and the bed and everything like that. And the rooms don't look lived in. The rooms look like I'm just here temporarily. I don't care what nobody say. He did say that he got that house for them and everything, but I still don't believe it. I think it's an Airbnb. But he got in the bed with his clothes on, and then we pan over to Brittany, and she didn't take no shower either because she got the same clothes on too. So she got in the bed with her clothes on. I'm like, both of y'all nasty. Not only y'all nasty, y'all got issues. Let's see. He said he's not ready for a roommate thing, of course. Let's see. We already said that. Andy is expecting Brittany to be prison Brittany. You know, when you're locked up, you saying all these dreams and goals and future aspirations and all of that. And now Brittany is in a free world, and two things have happened. Number one, she's in a free world and she's just like not under parole, and she's like, I'm totally free. I can do what I want to do. And she has all these things that she wants to do, right? When she saw Andy and Andy looked like he looked, and he didn't give her the full 1200, Brittany was like, I can't do this. I cannot do this. She said this dude is triggering, and that's actually a word that she used, but we're gonna get to that. She just making stuff up because she don't want to be with him. She don't really want to be there. And I'm thinking to myself, Brittany, why would you leave where you're from to go to Rome to be with this guy if you really don't want to be there? Why didn't you just stay where you were at? No, that's because Brittany is trying to use Andy. She's already used them to a certain extent, right? But now she's trying to go and continue to use him. But what she doesn't know is that Andy is broke like a joke. He ain't got nothing. And so she's just thinking to herself, dang, I don't have nothing to go back to where I'm from, so I might as well try to stay with Andy and use him up as much as I can. And so now she's like, I put all my eggs in one basket, my back against the wall. I don't have no plan B. I don't know what to do. So I got to stay in this situation and suffer, which is really sad. And sidebar, in a personal note, I kind of know where Brittany is coming from. I had been in a situation in my past where my back was against the wall and I had to be in a living situation that I did not like. I was not here for it. I couldn't stand it. It was so annoying. Like this shirt is getting on my nerves. There we go. So I had to be in a situation where something was so annoying. My back was against the wall. I wasn't making as much money. I had to do what I had to do. I had to share a space. And so I know how she feels when she's saying she feels like her back is against the wall and she don't have nothing to do. But the thing is, the difference between me and Brittany was that I had a goal. I worked, saved money, did what I had to do, and I didn't stay with it in that situation for long. I went ahead, had my plan. I found a better place. I had the money saved and I moved on. Like I moved on and I was out of that situation, right? Unlike Brittany, when she feels like she don't have no plan B, she just got out of jail. She don't even have a job yet. So how can she make a situation better when she don't even have nothing, right? So next morning Brittany wakes up, right? She wakes up, hold on y'all, let me make sure I didn't miss nothing the night before. Okay. Brittany wakes up and she looks so tired and depressed, y'all. She looks horrible. She says that she can't do it. She said, I cannot do this. She said her children are on her heart. She does not want to be there with Andy. And Andy wakes up too, and he's in the other room saying that, this is messed up. I brought this house for us. We talk about all these future plans that we have, and she is blowing this opportunity. And I believe Brittany did sell Andy a dream. I believe when she was in there, she was selling him a dream because she was on this emotional high. She felt like this person has actually been down with her, here for her. He sent her money, the whole nine. So she felt like, yeah, this might could work. You know what I'm saying? Against her knowing herself. But when she got out and saw reality, and she said this too, when reality hit, she realized, I don't really want to be with this man. I can't do this. And instead of her just coming out and saying that, she keeps going around the mulberry bush. And then Andy can't seem to read the room. Like Brittany is telling you everything short of saying, you disgust me and I want to go home. That's really what she need to say. And this segment could be over, but she just dragging it out. Brittany says Andy told her so many things, right, that he's lied about. She said she don't trust him. He said that he told her that he was gonna have $1,200 for her. And they pan over to the scene where he's giving Brittany $500, telling her that his account got hacked and he don't have the other half of the money, but he says, he's going to make it, up to her. She says he lied about having a Brittany fund. And he lied about saying that he was going to give her stability. She says he lied about also getting her a car. And then she goes and says, I didn't ask for this now, y'all. I didn't ask for none of this. He said he was going to give me all these things. But the way she's talking, it's like, Brittany, you ain't asked for it, but you surely ain't turning it down. It makes it seem like you little gold digger. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Kanye West. I ain't saying she going to deal with a broke. But I ain't saying she a gold digger, but she ain't going to mess with no broke, you know what. Okay, and that's exactly where Brittany is at. Brittany says she doesn't have anyone. She don't have anyone to talk to vent to about this, and she don't want to call Gracie and dump it on Gracie's lap. She don't want to call her mom because her mom would be concerned about her relapsing. So she basically is backed up in the corner. She said her heart is with her kids, So she went outside to take a walk, and Andy goes to the room where she's at, knocking on the door and stuff. She didn't answer. Then Andy calls her, and he says, and she's like, and here's Andy calling. I'm like, dang, she couldn't even take a walk outside before this Negro called. Like, I go for walks sometimes, and I don't let my husband know. He don't call me, and I be gone for a walk, come back, and we good. Excuse me. Ooh, that was some burp. So, she goes outside and she answers the phone when Andy calls, and Andy's like, hey, where you at? And Brittany was like, I'm outside, I'm going for a walk. And Andy was like, oh, you could have told me. I would have went for a walk with you, blah, blah, blah. And Brittany is like, okay. And Andy is like, well, can I come out there, bring you some coffee so we could talk and stuff like that? And Brittany was like, yeah, I guess. Again, she's giving you the signals, Andy, that she's just not that into you and she does not want to be bothered with you. So, what else happened? Yeah, Andy gets outside. He starts talking to Brittany, and Brittany is telling him, I can't do this. I'm thinking about my kids. She's making up all of these things, instead of just telling him what's up. Andy is saying, so what are you saying? What are you saying? What are you saying? And she's basically, Brittany cut over to her confessionals, and Brittany said that Andy is a trigger for her. She feels stuck. And she says if she could get on Messenger and find somebody real quick to float her something to get her high, she would do it. Brittany, you playing with fire, ma'am. You playing with fire. You need counseling. This is what I don't understand about Love After Lockup. And Love After Lockup franchise, if y'all ever come across my review, let me tell y'all something. I don't know why these people, before they come on this show, the inmates anyway, and shoot, sometimes some of the free people go through a period of counseling before they come onto y'all's show. Or I don't know why you all don't have like a standby therapist for the show where you cancel them after an episode or before an episode or what have you, or during the season, because these people need counseling. It is not fun to watch someone say that if this doesn't stop with this man being overwhelming on me, I am going to find some drugs. I know I come on here and I talk about some of these people and I laugh about it or whatever, but some of these situations really do need therapy. A lot of their situations. And I believe that you all should implement some type of therapist or somebody on the show that can help these people. And not only that, the prison system. Why do they not assign these people to a therapist in addition to being a part of their parole? When they get out, they go see their parole officer, and the most thing they're trying to figure out is how long I gotta stay on parole, where can I go, where can I not go, do I need this and need that, whatever. But nobody gets into the nitty gritty of getting them therapy. They need therapy. Not only do they deal with prison, but they deal with rooted issues that got them in prison, and y'all don't even consider that judicial system, okay? And we are going to talk deeper about that when I get into the last couple that I'm going to speak on. But we're going to move on to the next couple. But again, I think Brittany needs therapy, y'all. She is like a ticking time bomb. She is like this close to going forward and relapsing. And then relapsing could cause her to end up back in jail and could cause her to be away from her children even more. I feel like Brittany should never have went to Rome. She should never have went to Rome with Andy. She should have stayed and she should have reconnected with her children. And now she's up in Rome feeling stuck, and Andy just cannot read the room, and he's just all over her all the time. She's telling him how she feels, right? And he ain't even reading her. This man gonna go on and have the nerve to say, oh, I have a whole day planned for us. We were gonna go fishing. We was gonna do this and this and that. Sir, she's telling you everything short of I don't want to be with you. And instead of you tackling that and zoning in and staying on that, you talking about going fishing. Child, Andy ain't got no sense. He is being taken for a roller coaster ride, and I do not feel sorry for him. And Brittany, I kind of don't feel sorry for you because you was trying to use this man based on all the stuff you said he was supposed to do for you, and now it's backfiring on you. You need to take your tail home, and Andy need to take himself somewhere else. And again, stuff has happened, so we just getting it full force right now, but this is a year that they shot prior. The next couple is Janome and Red. Okay, so Janome, Destiny, Red's sister, and Red's mom are in the car, and they are going to the hotel that is near the prison because Red gets out tomorrow. I don't know for the life of me why these people just do not go and visit the I don't know why they don't break up the visits. Like, Love After Lockup just be... They be petty. They be trying to get the ratings. So, of course, they're not going to break up the visits, right? But I feel like if it was me and I was going to go pick up my inmate significant other, I would be like, I'm going to let your family come pick you up. And then you're going to spend the day with them, spend time with them. And then I'm going to meet up with you the next day after your parole visit, and then I'll come over to family house, or we'll hook up at a hotel, whatever. We'll meet up, we'll have the day for us, or vice versa. Like, it need to be something, because this was a disaster. The family going with Joy. So the family starts asking Joy questions as they're riding because Red is supposedly trying to get parole to New Mexico. So Destiny is saying, is there diversity in New Mexico? Joy is saying she hasn't seen many black people in New Mexico. Pause. We saw your son, Joy. So is he half Spanish or something? Because he got some melanin in his skin. Melanin is all up in that little boy's skin. So she had to know some black dude or some Spanish dude or something. There's some form of diversity outside of the Native American culture in New Mexico where she is. She found somebody, okay? Destiny asked Joy, doesn't you do you think he's talking to other girls? Destiny don't like Joy, okay? Because every time she get a chance, she gonna ask her a real live question that's gonna challenge her and take her there. Joy says, I have to go off of what he tells me, right? He tells me he ain't messing with nobody, so I have to believe that. And the mom says, well, she says, well, has he told you about the money that women send me to send to you? So apparently Red is getting money from some other women that he's giving to the mom. And from the mom, he tells the mom to send the money to Destiny. I mean, to send the money to Jonomi. And I'm just like, what? I said, okay. Joy is like, no, I didn't know that. And Destiny's like, are you want to confront him about it? Again, Destiny. She don't like Joy, and she giving it to her. And Joy is like, yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that we going to talk about when he get out. They pull up to the hotel, right? When they pull up to the hotel, they are greeted with other family members. The mom is introducing everybody to his cousins and the aunts and things like that. And so Joy is meeting all of them, and the mom gives everybody a play-by-play. The way the mom was talking to him is to all of the family is kind of like when you're about to go on a family trip. Oh, shoot. My bad, y'all. When you're about to go on a family trip and the mom is like, all right, y'all, listen. Now, we got to leave here by this time so that we can get there by that time. We ain't making no stops. We ain't doing this. We going straight to the place. That's how the mom is talking to them. She told them that we got to be up at the crack of dawn, y'all. We got to be at that prison by 8 a.m. Joy was right there. Everybody heard it. Everybody was like, great break. We get it. We know we'll be up. Okay, so what else happened? She told them when they had to be up. And the next morning, Joy, we see her getting ready. She's curling her hair. She's in there talking about she's ready to go get ready. She just hopes that everything works out, and she starts crying while she's curling her hair. Every time Joy gets a confessional, she starts crying. I'm like, child, how many tear ducts do you have left? Because you are crying this whole time we've seen you. So Destiny goes and she knocks on the door. I don't even know what time it is, but apparently Joy is late. Destiny knocks on the door. Joy didn't answer. She knocks on the door again. Joy finally opens the door and she's like, girl, what are you doing? It's time for us to go. We're ready to go. What are you doing? Joy is like, I'm almost ready. And Destiny's like, why are you late? Like, didn't you get the memo? And she's like, I'm coming. She let the door go and the door closes in Destiny's face. Destiny is like, ooh, I'm about to slap her. And in Joy's defense, right? We all been to them hotel rooms where you let the door go. If you don't catch it, it's going to close in your face. I think that's what happened. I think Joy was trying to get her bag, and I think she was just, trying to hurry up and get out, and she was like, I'm coming. And if you didn't touch the door, Destiny, of course it was going to close in your face. So I don't think Joy purposely just said, close the door in her face. You know what I'm saying? But, of course, that's the way Destiny felt because Destiny don't see it for Joy, right? So Destiny, Joy gets downstairs. The mom is, oh, excuse me, I gotta get some water. So Joy gets downstairs. The mom is out the car, like, what the heck are you doing? Like, why are you late? I gave you the play-by-play. Why weren't you here? Sorry, y'all. And Destiny, Joy is like, I'm sorry, I know, and everything. So she was like, we got to be there at the time. We got to be there. So the other family members in the other car. So they get in the car. They're on their way going there. When they're on their way going there, Destiny asks, have you ever seen Red? Joy says it's my first time going to go see him, and they're all, the mom and Destiny's kind of like, you haven't seen him in 7 years. And Destiny asks her questions, and she's like, so, but you were able to send him money on 40K and all this stuff. You haven't been able to see him in 7 years. That's kind of crazy. So Joy says, it's my money. I can do what I want to do with my money. And the mom was like, oh, the mom was like, okay, really? So Destiny was like, yeah, okay. So they get to the jail, right? They got all these signs and bells and whistles and all this stuff. They pull up to the jail and they are excited about Red about to come out, right? And so then Joy goes and comments when they get to the place where they waiting for him at, and she says, wow, could you imagine being locked up here with all these barbed wires and gates and all of this stuff? And the family looked at her like this. They was side-eyeing her like, if she don't shut her fat face. They were looking at Joy like, girl, ain't nobody asked you for that. I said, Joy, you need to just be quiet. You need to be quiet and don't say nothing else. So, what else happened with them? So yeah, they waiting outside, waiting for Red and everything, and they got the balloons, and the mom gets emotional because she's like, it's been 10 years. I haven't seen my son. I can't wait to see him. And one of the cousins hugs the mom and all of that. And then Joy goes and comments again and says, it's almost time, guys. And I'm like, Joy, don't say nothing. Just don't say nothing else. Just wait for Red to come out because the family is already looking at you like with the stink face. So I said, don't say nothing else, Joy. But they waiting for him to come out, and then they were the last couple that ended the show, and so we see kind of like his face coming up to the glass, or so we see a camera coming up to the glass or something, but he didn't walk physically out. Like, we didn't see him physically on camera. So anyway, that was Joy and Red. The last couple is going to be Brittany and Key Rocks, y'all. And I saved them for last because this episode, I was so extremely sad for Brittany. Very, very sad for Brittany. Very sad for her. We get the episode, we see Key Rocks, he's getting ready because they are about to go meet Brittany's father for dinner. And I believe it's Father's Day. And so Key Rock is getting ready, and Key Rock decides that he wants to go into prayer to God. And he tells God, he says, thank you, Lord, for letting me do 7 years in jail because it has made me the man that I am. Wait a minute. Let me make sure. Yeah, he said it has caused him to come out to be the man that he is. And I was like, okay. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say. I just find it very interesting. And I'm going to leave it at that. I ain't saying nothing else. Y'all, I'm sorry. My ring light got a little shortage in it. And I don't even know how that happened because I take very good care of my equipment, but I don't know. But anyway, so we get over to prayer, right? And they are going to the restaurant. They get in the car. Brittany is dressed really pretty and stuff. I loved the jacket that she had on, y'all. That's why I love fall and winter. I love jackets. I love sweaters. I love the boots and the pants, outfits and stuff like that. Like, I just love that time for fashion. For me, is everything. Fall and winter, yes, I love boots and everything. So they're in the car. They're on the way to go see the dad. She calls the dad while they're on the way. The dad didn't answer the phone, and the way they were setting it up, I was like, oh God, this dad is not answering the phone. I said, please do not let this dad not show up, because for a long time, right, since we met Brittany and Key Rocks, I was just like, I'm not about to sit up here and judge the parents until I get more detail and background. A lot of YouTubers that I watch, right, they were quick to judge these parents. And I'm just like, well, how can you judge the parents if we have not heard their side? How can you judge the parents if we don't know what the background of what really happened? We kind of got a little bit, though, on this episode, but we didn't get more of it. We kind of got a little bit, but I'm gonna try to read between the lines, and I'm hoping y'all rock with me after this. Don't be throwing no tomatoes and stuff like that, but if you do, leave it in the comments if you don't agree with me. But I'm just gonna tell you my perspective, and keyword, my opinion. opinion, my perspective, that is the key word, mine. You don't have to agree with me. But just keep it nice in the comments. So the dad wasn't answering the phone. And Brittany was just like, I hope, he shows up and everything. So they pull up to the restaurant. She says, the restaurant is nice. They go inside. Pause. Why is Key Rock's wearing a do-rag in this restaurant? If this is supposed to be a nice restaurant, why do you have on a do-rag? Boy, if you don't take that do-rag off in a nice restaurant, what? Anyway, I said, why don't he take that off his head? Anyway, so Brittany, they get in the restaurant. They order an appetizer, some wine, water, stuff like that. They're waiting for the dad to get there. So she calls the dad again. And I think this is the third time she called the dad. So she calls the dad again. It went to voicemail. The dad is not answering. I'm like, Lord Jesus. So, an hour goes by. They've been at the restaurant. Key Rock says it's all going to work out. Your dad's going to come through, blah, blah, blah. He goes to the bathroom. An hour later, Kelly, their prison mom, calls and she's like, hey, what y'all doing and all of this and that. And Brittany is like, I'm sitting here at the restaurant with Key Rocks waiting for my dad to show up. We're going to have dinner. And so she said it's been an hour though, and he hasn't shown up. And I don't think he's showing up. So Kelly on the phone is just like, oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, sweetheart, that happened. And so Brittany gets up and she's really emotional and she goes outside and she's crying and she leaves the phone with Key Rock. And Key Rock was like, I'm here, and he's talking to Kelly. And Kelly is like, why do you think he didn't show up? And so Kelly is like, Key Rock's like, I'm going to give the phone back to Brittany. So Brittany starts talking to her. She's sitting on the curb outside a restaurant crying. And she's like, I'm at a stable place in my life. I'm at a good place in my life. Why wouldn't my father come? And I finally met someone that I love and everything. What else do you want from this man? And things like that. And so I felt bad for this situation because I get, as a parent, and this is speaking from a parent perspective, we don't always agree, right? And I get it. We don't always agree with what our children do, the decisions, the lifestyle they decide to lead, the choices that they make. At the end of the day, though, they're still your children. They're still your children. And when you become a parent, you should have just that unconditional love. No matter what you do, no matter what it is, I'm going to love you. Does that mean that you condone everything that they do? No, but you should love them. I feel like that dad could have at least showed up to dinner. Even if he does not agree with Brittany's lifestyle, even if he doesn't agree with her being with Key Ross, he could at least showed up to dinner. It's your daughter. And it's Father's Day on top of that, right? So we pan over to after the restaurant. Brittany says she just want to go home. So they go home. We pan over to after the restaurant. I believe it looks like it was the next day. And Brittany and Key Rock's mom is in the kitchen and they're about to cook. I love Key Rock's mom. I think she is very pleasant. I think that she gives Brittany what she needs in lieu of therapy. She's very understanding. She was there to listen to her. She was there to give her hugs. She was there to comfort her. They're cooking and the mom starts asking her questions about her relationship with the parents. And Brittany says that she went to go live. She said, did your mom teach you how to cook? And Brittany says no, she went to go live with her aunt after she got kicked out of school. So it probably was when she was a teenager or something like that. Apparently, I guess she was doing something. She got kicked out of school and the parents was like, you're going to go live with your aunt. Brittany says she does not have a relationship with her mom and dad. And then she goes on to tell us what happened to her, which was very traumatic and very tragic. At 14 years old, Brittany told her parents that she was going to go with a friend to go hang out. But instead of going with a friend to go hang out, I think she's supposed to be going to a movie or something like that. Instead of doing that, she decided to go to a party with the friend. The friend was having a party. So she gets to this party, and a little bit into the party, after the party, these three boys say they're going to take her home from the party. And so Brittany leaves with three guys. They did not take her home. Instead, they sexually assaulted her and broke her collarbone, y'all, and then ended up throwing her in the ditch. I was just like, you've got to be kidding me. So she says that she never told anyone about it. When her parents, I guess when her parents knew that she was, collarbone was broken or whatever. She says that her brother had did it. She never mentioned the sexual abuse. She never mentioned the three boys. She never mentioned a party because she felt like they were going to blame her for being at the party. You know how some parents do, be like, well, if you didn't go to that party, that would have happened, blah blah. And there is a time and a place for that type of parenting, and that this particular situation was not the time and the place for that. She says 15 to 19 years old, she didn't tell anyone about it. She didn't talk about it until she got locked up, and she was able to confide in Key Rocks about it. And she was crying and really emotional. And I felt really bad for Brittany because I'm like, imagine not being able to express yourself and tell somebody about what happened to you and having to hold that in all that time. She says that she was able to talk to Key Rocks, and she said that's why she loves him, because he gives her this joy and everything. And I think that's dangerous. I think that's dangerous when she is saying that Key Rocks gives her joy and she puts all her joy wrapped up in him. When you wrap up all of your joy and hopes and aspirations and everything into a person, that's dangerous. Because if Key Rock and you don't work out, then what happens? Are you going to not have any joy anymore? Are you not going to live anymore? Are you not going to want to go on with life anymore? What's going to happen? The mom is so good for Brittany, y'all. She was there listening to her, and she told her, well, you always have me. Even if your parents don't see it for you, you always have me. And I love that about the mom. She was very comforting, very understanding. She made her laugh and stuff, even after she told her what happened. And I feel like if Brittany and Key Rock doesn't work out, I hope that the mom at least still keep in touch with her. There's a lot of mixed feelings that I have about Brittany's situation, right? Because on the one hand, I feel that parents don't come with an instruction manual, right? And we just do the best that we can with what we're handed, which is nothing. We're handed these children from God, these gifts, and all we can do is go based on how we were raised, and observations that we have from the world and what we think makes a good parent, right? And so sometimes we mess up as parents. We make mistakes. We don't always get it right. And the world feels like, well, as a parent, you can't do no messing up. You can't make no mistakes. You got to always be on, because if your child is messed up or gets messed up, it's your fault. And most of the time I agree, but some of the time I don't agree with that. I feel like parents need grace as well. No one teaches us how to be a parent. No one teaches us how to love our children. No one teaches us to do the best thing or what is right for our children, but we're expected to figure it all out. And I just feel like sometimes parents need that grace too. And then on the other hand, we have Brittany, who is this beautiful girl who seems smart, who seems that she's going to go very far in life. And she may have messed up in her youth, like we all have done. She may have done some things that wasn't right, like we all have done. And she now is at a stage in her life where she's doing better and she's trying to figure things out and get herself together. But I don't think she's at a stage in her life where she needs to commit herself to someone else. I think that she needs to fall in love with Brittany. I think she needs to go to therapy. I think she needs to have her parents come to therapy so she can repair that dynamic. And it's like they may not always agree with her, but at least if they can work on the relationship and repair the dynamic, then maybe she can start to heal a little bit on the inside too. She needs to be able to express to them what happened to her and how they made her feel. So it's just a lot to unpack with her whole situation. And having this show in her face, having Key Rock in her face, having all of these different levels of things that we've seen her go through, in my opinion, it's not good for her. I feel like she needs therapy and she needs to get out of this relationship with Key Rock. And I feel that she needs to start working on everything that has happened to her. And unfortunately, she does not have anyone in her corner that can give her this type of talk and say, I think you need to have therapy. I was waiting for Key Rock's mom to even say, maybe you need to try therapy. Maybe you need to talk with someone and work through these issues one layer at a time. And so, with Brittany and Key Rocks, my prayer for Brittany really is that she does get the help that she needs, and that she really can repair the damage that has happened within her family. And if her family is not willing to repair the damage, if her parents are not willing to speak with her and meet her halfway, because it takes two to tango, then she needs to just forget about it. Forget. And unfortunately, you need to just love them from a distance. And I believe she wants that relationship with them. I believe she really wants that. But you, like Key Rock's mom said, you reach, or I think Kelly said, you reached out to them. You did the best that you can do. You can't do nothing else. Really, the ball is in their court. As we saw in this episode, and I'm not saying these reality shows don't cut stuff out, don't edit stuff the wrong way, but from what we saw, our perspective, Brittany reached out. She called these parents. They were not, the father, he was not responsive. And so what can she do? The only thing you can do is try to reach out. If they don't give you that same respect to reach back out, then hey, what can you do? The father could at least answer the phone and say, yeah, I'm not going to make it. If with him answering the phone and saying, I'm not going to make it today to see you, let's try to do it another time. At least that would have been better than just absolutely ghosting her and not saying anything to her. That's horrible. That's horrible. And I felt really bad for Brittany. You know, I really did feel bad for her. She really needs some counseling and some therapy. I mean, and she needs ongoing therapy for a long period of time, because she held in something that happened to her from 15 to 19. That is not going to be resolved overnight. Not only that, she does not feel like that her parents ever loved her. She does not feel, she feels like they were too strict. And I know how it feels to have a strict household. You know what I'm saying? My mom raised 3 kids after her and my dad divorced, and she raised 3 kids on her own, and hat off to her, because I don't know how she was able to manage doing that, but she did what she had to do. And she ran a tight strict household, you know. And it was some things that I was going through that I felt like I couldn't talk to her about, because I didn't want her to get an attitude. I wouldn't want her to get mad. I didn't want her to, you know, go off or whatever. And so I knew when I had a child, I never wanted to be that way. I never wanted my child to feel like that they could not come and talk to me about something that they were going through. And so with my daughter, she's very much able to come and talk to me and be open with me and honest with me. Some things she's told me, I've been like, ooh, on the inside and want to clutch my pearls, right? But on the outside, I had to wear a poker face, because I didn't want her to ever not tell me anything again. And so I knew from my growing up the type of parent that I wanted to be when I had a child, and she came to me with some stuff, or he came to me with some stuff. And so you live and you learn. And I don't fault my mom at all. She had to run the ship. She had to raise 3 kids, you know, and that's no small thing at all. Me and my mom have a great relationship. She's never abandoned me. She's never kicked me out. She's never not loved me and things of that nature. But it's just that when I was growing up, of course I had some things to do with it. I was very much being young. I was very much being sneaky. I was very much doing some things I should not have been doing. So I can understand, you know, why she had to run the ship in the house the way she had to run it. But there was some other things that I was going through, and I really wanted to talk to her about it, but she was like, you know, not very approachable when it came to certain things. I couldn't talk to her about I was feeling these sexual things inside, wanting to, you know, really go off and have sex. I could not tell her, you know, I thought I was ugly or had low self-esteem or blah blah and all this stuff. I feel like she was just zoned in on I gotta raise these kids and work, you know. So it was a lot of things growing up that I wish I could have talked to her about. But one thing was certain is that she never told me I could not talk to her about it. But just the way that she ran the household made me feel like I couldn't talk to her about it. So sometimes the communication is key, and the barrier has to be broken of what a child may feel versus what a parent actually is. And but when that communication is a wall is up there, you know, the child is thinking one thing and the parent is thinking another thing. You know, sometimes parents do say, I want you to come and talk to me. I want you to come and confide in me. But parents, if you have such this wall up and all these rules and regulations and things like that, a child can't come and talk to you the way they really would want to. And so you have to be understanding. And I think that's what happened with Brittany and her household. I think her parents were a religious people. I think they were very deep in their culture, deep in a certain way that they wanted to run their household and things like that. And when you are minors, you do have to abide by that, right? But at the same time, I believe that their running of their household caused her to rebel because they were so strict. Like sometimes you do have to loosen the ranks, because if you don't, they're going to go do it anyway. And when they do it anyway, they're going to find themselves in situations like Brittany found herself in, and which was unfortunate. And it was so sad that she couldn't even feel like she could come to her mom or her dad and tell them what happened to her. So it was just a sad situation. And Brittany, if you ever come across my channel, I want you to know that I'm so sorry that happened to you. And I hope that you get the therapy and that you feel the love and acceptance, and that you grow as a woman and an individual that knows your worth, that know that you're worthy of love and acceptance and everything that your heart desires. I hope it happens for you. I really, really hope that you repair your relationship with your family. But if in the event it doesn't, just go live your life, be happy, and just know that you tried. I don't think a baby is the answer. I think you want to give love to somebody, and I don't think that you should do that just yet, because you have a lot of things to unpack in therapy yourself. And the last thing you want to do is end up having a child and pass it on, this trauma, to the child. So that was my little message to Brittany. If you ever come see my channel and you come across my channel, that was my message. But yeah, it was a sad episode for Brittany and Key Rocks. Mainly for Brittany, and what she went through, y'all. But that is it for my review. We made it through another episode of Love After Lockup. If you are not subscribed to my channel, please go ahead and to do a subscribe. It is free to subscribe. It's a free way to support me. I am on a journey and a goal to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. And so if you can help with that, it's a free way. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel. It is free 99. It don't cost you anything. Go ahead and hit the thumbs up for this video, and go ahead and comment in the comments about the video, what you like, what you dislike, what couple you like, what couple you dislike, whatever you say. Keep it classy, keep it clean, keep it cute, and I will see y'all again on next week when we will review episode 7 of Love After Lockup, y'all. I also do other content on this channel, so watch out for my shorts, watch out for other videos that I will drop pertaining to other issues. And I think that's it. Thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all for joining. Love y'all to pieces. May y'all have a happy and blessed Sunday, y'all. Bye now.